So, in case you guys forgot, Joe Biden did in fact promise to cancel $10,000 worth of student loan debt per student when he ran for office. However, the Supreme Court, the gang put in by Trump, have effectively Kirk Franklin stopped the ever-loving out of Joe Biden's plans to cancel the student loan debt. Let's watch this.
Ready. Julia, take it away. What can you tell us?
So in the first case, those borrowers who challenged the Biden administration, the court said they don't have standing. But now we are getting the second piece of this, where the court has said the Biden administration plan to forgive federal student loans does not hold up. They are blocking that. They're agreeing with the lower court that that was not within their congressional authority. Again, this is the case brought by the states, saying that the people who were servicing the loans from within the states would be harmed by the student loan forgiveness plan. And so, yes, the borrowers did not have standing here, but the court is saying that the states do. I'm still getting more details to get the split. But again, for now, that looks like the Biden administration student loan plan is on hold. I need to read in and figure out if it's just the way they went about that plan, or if there's really nothing they can do and they simply don't have the authority. And I'll get back to you as soon as we get more details.
Okay, come back to us. Thank you, Julia Ainsley. Again, this is a plan that impacts tens of millions of Americans. It was estimated to cost somewhere in the realm of $400 billion. That price tag could have played a pivotal role in how the justices viewed the Biden administration's authority.
Now, here's what I think about the entire situation. I think that student loan debt on some level should be forgiven. On some level. I believe there's always a happy balance when it comes to topics like this, right? Obviously, not all cops are bad, but they should all put on a camera. They all need to keep a camera on so we can know who's bad and who's not, right? Not all guns need to be banned, but obviously you shouldn't be walking around with a 240 Bravo up and down the street, right? Same thing with this situation. I don't think all student loan debt should be forgiven at all. I think that if you went out and got an anime degree, if you went and got a degree in anime Naruto studies and DBZ studies, not animation, but you went and got a degree in anime studies and all kind of foolishness, Afrocentric studies and gender studies and stuff that has no real earning power in the workforce. If you went and did that, I don't see how it's fair for anyone to have to pay off your debt. If you did not get a degree in an essential form of education that actually benefits society in an immediate level, I can't sit there and say that people should pay off your debt. I just can't. Now, do I understand the importance of the arts? Do I understand the importance of, cultural enrichment? I do. However, when we start asking people to pay taxes toward forgiving the debt that someone incurred of their own volition, we need to be reasonable. I think that setting a certain limit for the amount of money that's willing to be paid was a good idea by the Biden administration, right? $10,000, great. I think that certain degrees in maybe law, physics, STEM, would physics be under STEM? I'm not sure, but you get the idea. Medicine, engineering, biology, whatever the case might be. If there is some sort of necessary field that a student is taking out a loan in, I think it would be fair for us to cover some of that debt. Because if we can pay off that money for these young folks, a lot of them young, they would be able to spend a lot more money in the economy. They'd be able to put a lot more money back into the economy. Now, here's one argument against student loan forgiveness that I will acknowledge, right? This is just a Band-Aid. It's just a Band-Aid. We're not talking about the fact that if these lenders realize that, oh shit, Uncle Sam just came in and relieved you of this debt, how much more can we charge you guys, right? The main reason why, I would say the biggest reason why student loan debt is such a massive issue, the main reason why education is so expensive, one of the main reasons, if not the biggest reason, is because of the fact that these loans are backed by the state. People are taking out these big ass loans that the state or a bank is willing to aid them in. And as a result, these schools or whoever's providing the education and charging the cost are saying, oh, so you can't pay it out of pocket, but XYZ entity is willing to come in and cover some of the cost for you? Oh, make the down payment or whatever the case might be. oh, okay, well, we're going to up the amount that we're going to charge because, well, shit, it seems like these people are willing to come in and pay or subsidize or whatever, or put a down payment, whatever the case might be. We're going to up the price. As long as there's someone willing to pay X amount of exorbitant prices, they're going to charge exorbitant prices for education. So we need to talk about what we're doing to young people here. What are we telling young kids to do? What are we doing with this system in society? I remember growing up, well, obviously, I would hope I remember growing up. I remember in middle school being told that if I didn't get a college degree, I would be a bearded homeless monk sitting somewhere, crisscross applesauce rotting away, waiting until, I don't know, the aliens come to obliterate all of humanity. I would be a bum, is basically what I was told. If you don't get a college degree, the end is near, blah, blah, blah. You ain't shit. You ain't gonna be shit. That's what we all heard. We all heard that growing up. And the majority of us I'd say the majority of us went to college. The majority of us either went to college and succeeded and went through the whole thing, or you were like me and like dropped out immediately because you just were like, bro, fuck this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, either way, we all did it at least once. We either dived straight in or we dipped our foot in the pool. But we don't talk about the system that's set up to make these folks rich. These people that are scamming the youth into signing their life away and signing their finances away for degrees in fields of studies that they don't really care about. Go to college, go to college, go to college. Hold on a second. What do you want to do? What do you like? Is there a monetizable way to explore your interests? That's what we need to start talking to the kids about, because we live in a world now where with the internet, the ability to make money has expanded exponentially in a crazy way. For example, I know this is probably a really niche and probably stupid example to use, but I'm going to use it. And if I'm an idiot, tell me in the comment section for using this. But I love journalism. I love media. I love news. I love all of that. For me, it seemed stupid to get a degree in journalism when you can buy a camera, buy a tripod, buy a gimbal, buy a computer, buy some hard drives, buy some memory cards, buy a microphone, buy a Bluetooth microphone, and before you know it, you've got yourself a journalist job. You can go outside and interview people. You can sit at the crib like I'm doing and report news. You can do it all from the comfort of your home. Now, are you going to be as immediately successful as someone who got a degree and went to CNN? No. But if your issue is, look, I can't take out this big ass loan. I can't do that. I need a cheaper way to get into the field that I want to get into. There are other options for a lot of folks. You want to get a degree in gender studies and blah, blah, blah. You're better off going to start a YouTube channel, bro. Because how are you really going to get paid in any other way? You want to do an Afrocentric studies? That's cool and all. Maybe if you want to make a whole bunch of money, think about becoming an archaeologist that studies Africa, African history. That would be smart. Rather than doing Afro cultural studies, go become an archaeologist. Or if you're just dead set on just Afro studies, start a YouTube channel, start a blog, do something other than getting into a massive amount of debt to get involved in a field that probably doesn't even pay much. Okay, let's talk about this system, because it is the system. It is a system. We're brainwashing the youth. We're not actually asking these kids, hey, what do you actually want to do? Because for the majority of human history, we did not go to college. College is a relatively new thing in human history, right? Higher education is a new thing. We need to ask these kids, what do you want to do? And if your passion is not currently monetizable, are there any trades that you might be interested in getting involved in that you can do in the meantime while you figure out what it is you want to do in terms of your passions? That's what we need to be talking about. Instead of telling these kids to go sign their life away, sign their bank account away, to accrue all this debt for something they probably don't even want to take part in. If you love fitness, maybe you should, start posting pictures of your physique on the internet. Become a personal trainer. Build your brand online. Rather than going to college, paying a shitload of money in physical science or whatever the case might be, just for you to come out with nothing but debt. Meanwhile, a bunch of dudes who didn't do anything but get some personal training degree and take some nice pictures and post them on the gram are now making more money than you are coming out of college, and probably more money than you will make for, like, I don't know, another 4 to 5 years. We need to start talking to these kids and asking them, what do you want to do? What are you interested in? And if what you're interested in cannot be immediately monetized after getting a college degree, let's talk about what kind of trade you can get involved in. Something. But this narrative and mentality of if you don't go to college, you're going to, fade into oblivion. That narrative is part of the reason why we're here. It's part of the reason why so many kids are comfortable with signing their life away, signing their buying power away for decades of their life, because they were pressured by older people to just jump straight first into something that they don't understand. They're kids. They're 18, 19. They don't understand anything. They're hoping and praying that what you told them, you adults in middle school and high school, they're praying to God that what you told them was an accurate description of the steps they needed to take in order to succeed in life. But for a lot of them, that's just not the path for them. For example, 40% of the people who have student loans do not have a college diploma or a 4-year diploma at all. They have nothing to show for it. They have no degree. 40% of the folks who have student loan debt have not even finished. They haven't even finished. And I'm willing to bet that a lot of that is because a lot of folks who went and did this had no idea as to what they wanted to do. Switching majors, switching this, switching that, no clue. And then we sit there and laugh at people and say shit like, you shouldn't have went to college. You shouldn't have went and did this. You shouldn't have went and did that. We need people in higher education. We need it. We can't all be blue collar workers. We need to have a balance, right? You don't want to be, a farmer using Bronze Age technology, right? We need someone who's smart enough to be able to put together a tractor. We need to have people who are smart enough to put together technology that makes the job of a doctor easier, the job of a scientist easier. We need higher education to make all of life better, easier, more productive. We need higher education. So I think it's stupid to sit there and mock people. Why'd you go to college if you didn't want to get all that debt? We need to be smart about this. There has to be a middle ground here that we can attack. A way to look at this situation from a middle point where we can say, okay, it's wrong that we put you in this position as a society, getting you to accrue all this debt, pressuring you into making these decisions that were not financially intelligent in any way, shape, or form. However, some of you made decisions that are so crazy, it would be wrong to have the taxpayer in any way, shape, or form, even to a minute level, bail you out. Ultimately, my opinion is that we should forgive some amount of student loan debt. I believe that people who have incurred debt on the altar of degrees that have some legitimate form of getting them into the workforce and getting them paid, doctors, lawyers, whatever the case might be, essential jobs that have guaranteed employment after acquiring a degree, engineers, blah, blah, blah. Those people, I believe, should have some amount of their debt paid off. Do I believe all student debt should be paid off? No. I think the bigger issue here, the bigger problem is the system we've set up. The bigger problem is not, the loans, this, the loans, that. Why are they able to make these loans? Why are they able to convince people to sign off on these loans in the first place? What is happening? We're convincing our youth to sign their buying power away, to sign their economic freedom away, to sign their lives away on the altar of college without even knowing exactly what they're doing. That is the issue. That's the main problem. And because the state is willing to back these loans, these colleges are willing to charge exorbitant prices for education. If college students all said, look, we're not taking out loans. Here's how much money we got. Here's how much we're willing to pay you. These colleges would have no choice but to decrease the amount of money they're willing to charge. And at that point, we would have to completely revamp the education system, which seems like a necessity. It seems like to me that we're going to have to completely revamp the education system. How we fund it, everything. If the student loan debt issue is really a problem that we want to solve. So I think it's a middle ground issue. I don't believe it's, cancel all of it. Don't cancel any of it. I think there's a middle ground here. I think that people shouldn't have their entire lives frozen up because they wanted to pursue higher education. Because our society and nation needs higher education. Everybody can't go to college, but everybody also can't get a trade. We need people that have higher education in our society. It's a necessity. It's needed. So we need to figure out how we can encourage higher education, how we can maintain a proper system where kids aren't signing their economic life away, while simultaneously having a fair system where the taxpayer isn't forgiving someone's loans because they went and got, you know, some study and some foolishness that doesn't matter, you know, like feminine dance studies. Like, okay, buddy, you know, like whatever the case might be. So I believe that there's a middle ground here. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. Am I on point? Y'all disagree? Agree? What? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.